What is going on, guys? Mobile Carrier News here, and some news from T-Mobile. T-Mobile is seeing two categories. They want to find opportunity in their wireless system, or basically, wireless competition. What T-Mobile, their first thing they want to do is fix wireless opportunity, as they call it, is they want to expand and they want to focus on home internet. Obviously, T-Mobile first came out with home internet this year, 2021. Now, they're trying to compete with the two biggest carriers, which is AT&T and Verizon. Now, T-Mobile doesn't they know their service is very new, so it's not really going to perform well, but I have seen videos that they are working on it. They're actually going at a rapid pace because they know they fell late to the game with home internet, but that's not really stopping them from improving their service. I've seen videos where their service is increasing rapidly. I've seen their service where it went from 20 megabytes per second speed from the home internet wise on them that I'm saying to over 100 megabytes per second in that person's area. And I was just very shocked. And this was like probably came out. That service probably was improved about 2 months after they posted that when they first reviewed T-Mobile's home internet. And I'm just thinking to myself, dang, the fact that T-Mobile can improve their home internet like quick. Don't get me wrong, it's still new right now, but the fact that they can improve it in 2 months to go from 20 megabytes per second to 100 megabytes per second in 2 months shows a lot that T-Mobile is actually cranking up the heat and they actually are improving the service. Now, I never tried Verizon Fios or AT&T's service for home internet. I believe it's AT&T Uverse. I never tried them out, but T-Mobile is making progression here. They actually are. They are investing a lot of money, even though they're not investing a lot of money in 5G and their wireless service. They do sound like they're investing a lot in home internet. I do believe I saw an article. I honestly forgot what it is, but Verizon should be increasing their home internet users to some millions by 2023 maybe. They're actually taking competition very seriously with the other competitors, because let's face it, Verizon and AT&T have been in competition with home internet for many years now. And T-Mobile back then was just focused on LTE and 4G because, well, I mean, they were a big company because they were the part of the main carriers before they merged with Sprint. But what I'm saying is T-Mobile only had enough money to invest in their home internet, their wireless hotspots that people were getting, that they were trying to promote to people. T-Mobile had money, but they didn't have enough to actually invest in more back then. And I'm actually glad T-Mobile didn't actually decide to invest in home internet early back then, because they honestly could not have enough to probably survive. I'm glad they stuck out with 4G LTE. Their service is improving, and I'm glad they're taking home internet very seriously because their main competition is Verizon and AT&T. They're the big dog carriers in home internet. I at the moment, for me at the moment, I have Cox Communication. It's all right. I'm thinking of switching because, they're raising up the bill, and every carrier will raise their prices a little bit. You just got to make sure you can afford it, because it will be going up eventually. But all carriers do put a pause 2 to 5 years before they raise prices, because they don't want their consumers going somewhere else. That's the last thing on their mind, just losing consumers because they quickly jack up the price. That's why I might be leaving Cox Communication, because their service is great. It's just they raise it too much, and they're saying they need to raise prices up because you know it's business. I understand that's business, but shouldn't be raising my price so high. The second thing they're also focusing on is, let's see, where's the second thing they're focusing on? Oh, here we go. They're focusing on communities and targeting undeserted um, areas of rural America, as you can see right there, and remote areas of challenging geographies and lower income neighborhoods in suburban and urban areas. So to me, that sounds to me like T-Mobile is focusing their 5G slash LTE, ultra wideband, all etc. all their service to very low and rural income areas. Now, I like what they're doing with this because I'm not really sure. I'm not too sure how Verizon's service is with low income areas. I've seen videos, people doing speed tests in low income areas with Verizon. I just don't remember the speed test, unfortunately. I forget which person I followed took that video. But T-Mobile is focusing heavy on that because they know people with low income areas either won't get service or won't get service, and T-Mobile is going to be investing and focusing on that heavy because all three carriers want to focus on rural America. They want to expand their coverage in big cities, but also expand it in small cities and small town areas. Like if you live in the middle of nowhere or you live in like a snowy area, like I don't know, like say example Utah, Iowa, when it's December, it snows, you want to make sure you have a good connection. I'm not saying you're not going to go out. You probably will go out for, to go for groceries. You might go out for you might go for a walk with family. You might want to go in the snow, go shopping. It just depends. And since you live in like the middle of nowhere, basically the middle of the United States, all three carriers, but mostly T-Mobile wants to make sure you have a good connection. Now, I never lived in those areas. I mostly stayed in California all my life. I do plan to travel or move to a different state to do different speed tests, get some different environments going, let you guys know how that area is, and I will be glad to be doing that. But T-Mobile sounds like they're going to be focusing on that more than all the carriers. Now, I'm not saying that's true, and just because T-Mobile claims it doesn't mean it's true. Or basically just because all carriers say they're going to have the best 5G doesn't mean it's true. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are. When they said they're investing billions, that is true. But you have to put your money where your mouth is. I have to actually see T-Mobile improving the service and actually doing what they're going to do, because if it's just all talk and no action taken, it's just going to upset me how they're doing with their service, and they're either going to be lying or they're not going to take it seriously. I'm not saying T-Mobile takes their service seriously. They take it all seriously, but I want to see if this is actually true. I want to see if T-Mobile will actually be the one to be actually focusing on rural America. I heard AT&T is going to be focusing on that more, but I'm not too sure. I'd honestly have to see how the news will perform about this. I have to see what will happen in 2 to 3 years. From now to 2023, 2024, or 2025. I want to see if T-Mobile can actually take this seriously and actually improve in rural America and get their network up and running, because they still lack coverage. All three carriers lack coverage in certain areas. AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile still lack coverage in the mid area. Basically where Oregon and Wyoming is, they lack coverage there. Washington, but I'm pretty sure they'll get that fixed. I honestly hope so, because in my opinion, all three carriers cannot be lacking coverage in those areas, because you have to have coverage for almost everywhere. If all three carriers do not have coverage in those areas, I'll just be disappointed with all three carriers, and I'll basically be scratching my head and telling, and almost telling the carriers like, what are you guys doing? You have to be actually improving that area, because it's the middle of nowhere. Honestly, it is the middle of nowhere. There's no beach or anything like that. You're basically at the top of Canada. It's at the top end. And if there's no coverage, there's issues. So I want to make sure T-Mobile will actually provide the action that they're going to be improving their home internet to compete with Verizon and AT&T. And they're actually going to be improving rural America, and see how that plays out. I will let you guys know on updates on how T-Mobile is doing with this. With also Verizon and AT&T, I'm very curious how they all perform this, and I just want to give you guys all my general review on how everything's going with this. Is T-Mobile going to do good on this? How will each carrier fill out their roles with 5G and home internet? Because home internet is also going to be increasing. I know home internet is not talked a lot in these news articles, but believe me, in the next several months, home internet is going to skyrocket. I don't know why or how. It's just going to be more demanding as it is now. I just have a gut feeling it's going to be more demanding. What do you guys think about this? Let me know what you guys think in the comments about all this. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.